Hi everyone, let's talk about what's been going on with the markets, especially the Dow Jones, and how the U.S. Federal Reserve is navigating all this uncertainty. Wall Street wrapped up Wednesday in a mixed state. The Dow Jones Industrial Average slipped by 44 points, or about 0.1%, while the S&P 500 stayed nearly flat, nudging down by less than 0.1%. The Nasdaq was the only one that managed to inch upward, gaining 0.1%. The big story driving all this? The Federal Reserve announced that it's still keeping a close eye on the economic impact of President Trump's tariffs. There's talk about possibly cutting interest rates twice before the year ends, but Fed Chair Jerome Powell made it clear, nothing is certain right now. In his words, this is a very foggy time. They're basically in wait-and-see mode, trying to understand if these tariffs will spark short-term inflation or lead to something more significant and lasting. What's interesting is that while inflation is still relatively tame, hovering near the Fed's 2% target, there are pressures bubbling up. Oil prices, for instance, are all over the place, thanks in part to geopolitical tensions between Israel and Iran. That region's volatility, especially around the Strait of Hormuz where a lot of global oil traffic flows, is creating price swings that feed into broader market jitters. Now, back to the Dow. While it dipped slightly, it wasn't a dramatic fall. Investors seemed cautious, but not panicking. There was some good news, though. Steelmaker Nucor jumped over 3% after announcing expected profit growth across all of its divisions. That uptick helped cushion some of the broader market's weakness. In the bond market, we saw similar hesitation. Treasury yields barely moved, signaling that investors are still unsure which way the economy will swing next. The 10-year Treasury yield edged down to 4.38%, and the 2-year stayed flat at 3.94%, reflecting that same cautious sentiment. Economic reports released Wednesday painted a mixed picture too. Fewer Americans filed for unemployment last week, a good sign that layoffs might be slowing. But on the flip side, new home construction fell short of expectations, hinting that higher mortgage rates might be cooling the housing market. Bottom line, markets are holding their breath. Between Trump's unpredictable tariff policy, global conflicts, and a Federal Reserve that's not quite ready to act, investors are just trying to stay balanced. So while the Dow and broader indexes aren't plunging, they're certainly not soaring either. It's a market moment that says, let's wait and see. Stay subscribed for more videos.